What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, B Zanny, joined by my co-host, D Woody. And today we've got episode 65 for you. Going to be covering COD Champs and the Raleigh Major for RLCS. It's going to be a thick one. Got a lot to cover as we've had a big break from these episodes to let these two tournaments play out so we could come and review it. So make sure and stay tuned for another episode. Let's get to it. All right, Dak, we're back after a great weekend in esports. How we feeling?
Feeling good, dude. What an unbelievable weekend with Champs, with Rocket League. It was insane. Never did I dream Champs was going to go that way, and we'll get into it, but man.
Yeah.
COD.
Unexpected outcomes in both.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Kind of Rocket League. Falcons is always in the mix, but they haven't done it.
Yeah, but the top three was not who you expected.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely a great weekend. Champs was electric, and RLCS is always a fun watch. But I mean, when it comes to spectating things over the past few days, it wasn't just some esports that our eyes were stuck to. We've been on a CS kick for a few weeks now, and I don't know what happened in the streamer world, but a lot of the, like Zuma and other COD content creators has started playing some CS, opening some cases, which got our boy Nadeshot involved in it. And we've been watching just some degenerate action gambling going on within the CS case world, as it took him over 3,000 cases to pull his first gold. But he did end up pulling some good shit.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, after work Friday, I just turned on a stream while I was messing around, and it was Nade opening cases, like starting the opening, I'm pretty sure. And, he's with Tim, he's with trying to get XQC in the call, like everything was cool. And then I stopped watching. I catch him the next night. I get on, and he starts talking about how he's hammered and hasn't pulled a gold since I watched him the day before. And I was like, no fucking way. So since then, I was just locked on it. And it was truly like watching a man throw his life away, because he just kept throwing money out. I mean, $30,000 of cases before.
I'm pretty sure he tweeted yesterday or something that he's locked out of adding funds or something.
Yeah,
to his Steam.
he has multiple accounts that he's opening cases on because they keep getting locked and shit. Like, it's just been insane. And,
yeah, definitely has.
If he didn't pull the golds, it was looking really sad. It was kind of getting pathetic at some point. It's like, dude, like, just give it up, man. Like, you're just throwing money away.
Mortgage after
and
mortgage,
he's drunk
after
every
mortgage
night.
At it.
And he's drunk every night, just like degenerate gambling. But you gotta think it's rigged, because this man went on the longest streak without pulling a knife, and then pulled 7 golds in 3 hours.
Yeah,
like he had the opposite ends. It's like all that bad luck stored up just gave him like the best luck ever for the next 3 hours.
I mean, technically that's how odds can work, right? Like, if it's, you're good for a gold every 700, you technically could pull 5 between case 3,300 and 3,500. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
That's how it works. Yeah. So sometimes it's evenly spread out, sometimes it's stacked at the beginning and you don't get shit.
But for you,
yeah,
if you guys don't know,
I'm on Nade's path.
Blake's trying for a gold, but it's not been going well. Lots of purples.
No.
You're the purple demon.
I am a purple demon, but I don't give a fuck unless it's a fucking Galil Fade or whatever that Prisma.
The one that you had,
thing.
the rainbow spoon.
Yeah, the $70. Rainbow spoon. Yeah, that is just a random expensive one that's needed for a trade up. Sure, I'll take that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm currently like for, I don't know, like 150 in the past fucking 2 weeks, maybe something like that. and it's not looking good.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, we're pushing on. We're gonna push on.
And it's been funny because people from the CS community that I watch are now meeting people from the COD community, and it's like,
yeah, it's really weird.
Like Arrow, for instance, he literally was reacting to what happened the night before when Nade went on the crazy bad luck streak, and he was calling him Nade King. And after calling him that like 3 times, his chat was like, "It's Nade shot," and he was like, "Oh, sorry."
Nade King, where did he get
I don't
that
know,
from?
but he kept saying Nade King. So it's like these dudes don't even know each other, and like Nade's making
so
waves
weird.
in CS because of how bad that case opening was.
Yeah, and you got fucking train wrecks showing how degenerate it can really be.
Yeah.
Zuma's in the fucking background. Like, what's going on here? It's like a mashup episode of like Hannah Montana and That's So Raven, or the Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents episode. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We got some mashups going on, but yeah, we're gonna keep hunting some golds. But
Gold,
nonetheless, let's jump into some COD champs here. So before we get into the matches, we got to talk about the event because obviously the most attendance was on Sunday. OpTic's, spoiler alert, OpTic's in the grand finals. Obviously that had the most attendance, and it still was not a packed house. Whoever the higher ups at the CDL and Toronto Ultra are need to be fucking nixed, because this was the most horrendous COD champs I've ever seen in terms of attendance. It just looked like an empty house the whole entire time.
I'll tell you what, out of all the champs we've had in the CDL era, this just did not feel like champs. Like, all of those have had the environment where you're like, yeah, this is COD champs, the crowd's going crazy.
Yep.
Like, this was just dead, bro. It just felt like any other major. Like Major 2
in
some bumfuck nowhere Canada.
Up until grand finals, it really did feel that way. Luckily, since even though it wasn't like packed on the Sunday, they were loud because they're Green Wall fans, and it made it feel like it.
Hey, rumors have it they were pumping crowd noise.
No, they're so stingy, bro. They did it in Kitchener. They're not spending the money to pump crowd noise, whatever, even if it's a few bucks.
I tell you what,
hour.
Thursday and Friday it was giving the HCS championship with the balloons outside.
Yes, with the balloons on. Oh god, it really was. It very much was, indeed.
Yeah, it was bad.
But yeah, it was definitely a very surprising event when it comes to the matches. We'll go ahead and get into it.
Overview before we hop in match to match. So, like, what'd you think of the competition at champs? Like, did you think the matches were good?
I thought the matches, I mean, there was a good amount of 3-0s that happened, but some of them were very surprising 3-0s. A lot of the 3-0s were very close maps, I would say, other than a couple series. Literally, other than the OpTic series, and FaZe Ravens, like, the 3-0s were pretty competitive. Yeah. So, and then once we got to the later losers matches, it got really, really some good games.
Yeah. I think Ravens were in their own tier of dog shit compared to everyone else.
They were.
Yeah.
They were.
I mean, they were the only team there where I was like, all right, I don't need to watch this.
Yeah, absolutely. They suck dick. So, obviously, top 8 seeds go to champs, double elimination bracket. So everyone's starting in the winners, opposite to what we're used to with the bottom 4 starting in the losers, and then you drop down. So it was a full bracket to play through. And are you looking at the bracket, or are you looking at the list of matches?
I'm looking at the bracket. And I'm just going to click on the matches to, like, pull them up individually. Okay,
perfect. So just starting from the top down, I guess, because I don't remember the exact order of these matches. But we had Vancouver Surge going up against the Miami Heretics. Miami was able to take this one 3-1. Surge take the map 1 hardpoint, and then Miami rattle off 3 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So Vancouver came out with a hot start in the hard point, but Miami was just able to take that one and bring it back to 3-1 as they advanced to the winners round 2. Again, Rancor just overall, and he ends up winning the Rookie of the Year. Has a nice wholesome moment with Super where they kind of share the trophy together. That was really cool. But yeah, Rancor definitely deserved it. He'd been frying all year and continued to do so at the event. So Miami take that one 3-1 and move on to winners round 2.
Yeah, man. Yeah, this series after map 1, I thought, oh shit, Miami like coming out flat at champs.
Yeah.
Like, I thought for sure that they were just not going to perform well, but they turned it around immediately and won 3 straight. So that was kind of shocking. I thought I was cooked after map 1 with our prize picks because that boy Rencor,
I didn't want a damn thing.
Yeah, Rencor was getting shit on, and I think I had his over because they added KDs for this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but he turned it around. So shout out Rencor, Rookie of the Year, Vamos, Miami way.
Yeah, definitely. And then the next match we had was the LA Thieves against the Boston Breach. This is what was the start of the most surprising run of the tournament for the Boston Breach. They ended up taking down the favorites 3-2 in Neslo fashion, and it was not good for the LA Thieves as they dropped down to the losers bracket. As I said, Neslo fashion. Spoiler alert: they end up Nesloing their entire way to the winners finals, which is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So crazy performance from the Breach. Really good tournament from Purge. I think he stood out really well this event.
Shout out
and
Purge.
Showed what he was capable of. He's just a very good decision maker, and he's their in-game leader as well.
And we've always liked that about him.
Yeah, we've always liked that about Purge. Great comms, everything like that. It's just that pop off potential. The reason that we even have to say that for him is because it's not always there, right? But we do like his decision making. We like his comms. We like his leadership. Every time they would, between search rounds, every time they would cut to the players, it's him talking, whether they win or lose the round before. He's fucking getting them on track for the next round, which I like to see a lot. But yeah, LA Thieves just come out flat here in this match. So very surprising to see. For the side of the LA Thieves, because obviously they got Neslo'd, so the KDs do look a little bit wonky. Ghosty had a really tough series, and they came out a little flat. But it, from the other side of things, I mean, it was just an AR battle, right? Hydra or Ghosty and Scrap didn't have the best series, both negative, and Boston take the dub.
Yeah. Honestly, I got to give it to Boston. Their S&D was great. Whole tournament.
Yeah.
And this was a shocker. They upset them earlier this year in round 1, and I thought that they would never do it again after that. I thought maybe they just caught them lacking. So this was a crazy way to start champs, for sure.
Absolutely. And then we get into the next match here. We had Toronto Ultra versus Carolina Royal Ravens. As we kind of alluded to earlier, Carolina just not a threat at all this weekend. They fall 3-1 to Toronto Ultra. Jodeci was absolutely taking over on this one, and it was kind of insane. Gwyn had no help the entire weekend. He was popping off. He finally shows up to LAN in the most important tournament of the year, and his teammates are nowhere to be found. So he's getting criticism throughout the whole year about carrying this team on LAN and then going to LAN and shitting the sheets.
Yeah.
He finally shows up on LAN at the most important tournament, and his teammates are just absolutely nowhere to be found.
Yeah. And
so that was tough.
I mean, the control and the last hard point were close, but I just never really had hope that Carolina was going to close either of those maps out.
Absolutely not.
Dylan Rex did not play well at all.
Nope.
He seemed timid or just indecisive a lot, and that could just be because the team is compromised and they were getting shit on, or moment was too big. I don't know, but he had good moments, and I guess they're keeping him, right? He's still there. They've been making moves, and we'll get into the moves later, but
yeah, and so we'll see what they end up looking like for EWC, but nonetheless, Toronto just kind of kicked their feet up. Jodeci stomped on them the whole series, and they moved on to winners round 2. And what we thought to start off the series was going to be an absolute grueler for OpTic Texas as they took on FaZe in winners round 1. Ended up being an absolute slammage for OpTic Texas as they 3-0 Atlanta FaZe. Insane. Not something that we expected to see in this. Dashy, the only one negative, a 1.45 from Mercules, the rookie in this series. Draza, the CEO of OpTic, self-proclaimed, drops a fucking stinker, 0.65, absolute dog shit can. I can't. That's just insane. He's honestly been very, very lackluster the entire year. Pulls up to champs and gets absolutely smoked by a team he supposedly owns. So bad series from him.
0.7.
Yeah, Simp. We'll get into their next matches, but he also has probably the worst event of his career, I think. And that really hurt them, obviously, in this one here, as he drops a 0.73. But on the other side of things, you have obviously a rookie dropping a 1.5 on FaZe's forehead at champs is absolutely insane. The composure out of this guy is ridiculous.
Yeah, so this series absolutely shocked me. We were going in saying we're automatically going to lose Protocol S&D, so we got to win map 1. And that didn't happen. They looked great on that map all weekend long. Merc?
Yeah, Karma was saying that while he was watching it back yesterday, that FaZe played this exactly like they did at the last tournament. They played that map 2 Protocol. They barely changed up anything.
Dude, and that's what they've been saying on the flank recently is FaZe gets to a level and then they just stay there. And it's a good level to be at, but they just never ascend. They just stay the same.
Yep.
So they'll win 2 majors and then fizzle out.
Yep.
But I just want to say, bro, Merc, this man is like a 3-year veteran already. Like he's been playing at the highest level. In the comms video, he's just confident as fuck. He's saying, "Get the fuck off me!" He's super comfortable now. It seems.
World star.
Yeah, world star.
That clip goes so hard.
But his composure all weekend was great. I feel like he was calmer than Dashy or Shotzi. Like this dude was chill.
That's just how he is as a person.
Yeah.
He's just like that as a human being. He's just so, I don't want to use the word nonchalant, but that's just kind of what it comes off as. He's just chill. He just doesn't really, he's here to play COD, which is literally his announcement video for OpTic was just a little interview thing. And he was like, I'm just here to play COD.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. But no, I was super impressed with him. I was impressed with the way Hook was calming. I mean, he was the IGL supreme. Yep. Yeah,
Hook's comms were ridiculous.
Everything. Dashy was just Dashy. He was just kind of posted up, shooting everyone.
Yep.
And then Shotzi had a hell of a weekend.
Absolutely.
Most passion I've ever heard out of that man.
Absolutely. Everyone, after last year, they're look at the energy that Pred brings out of Shotzi. So he was really looking to kind of shut some people up and show that that's just he can bring that energy himself and be that energy for the team, which he was all weekend. So FaZe dropped to the losers bracket. They played Carolina Royal Ravens, who again just not a factor this weekend. They looked like shit. Again, Gwen doing everything he can to help his team out, and they're just nowhere to be found. And you can call it kill whoring if you want, but this was kill whoring in the fact that there's no other option for him. He had to pick up every kill on the map for his team to even have a chance. 0.6 out of Dylan Rex in this series. He gets 32 kills over 3 maps. So this was just a shit-stomping 3-0 for the side of FaZe and an absolute clinic from Abizi. He drops a 1.52, but if you were only watching gameplay and not even paying attention to the scoreboard, you would have thought it was a 2.0 the way he was moving around the map. And so, after OpTic move on to the winners bracket and FaZe do this, and we're seeing how they're playing, everyone positive, and they look a little bit back to form. You take it with a grain of salt because it's against the Royal Ravens, but you're thinking, oh shit, we got FaZe and Thieves in the losers bracket. If OpTic falls, you're gonna have to play either of them, obviously. So it's really dangerous, and that's what you're thinking about. But yeah, FaZe 3-0. Not really much to talk about. Carolina, now that they're eliminated for the tournament, we can talk a little bit about. Actually, no, we'll wait because it does involve some other teams too. So we'll talk about roster changes at the end here. But the last elimination round 1 match, we have the Surge going up against LA Thieves. This is a grand final that we've seen in other tournaments that we're seeing in losers round 1.
Yeah, that's
obviously
crazy.
The Surge fell to Heretics and the Thieves fell to Boston Breach. And man, crazy. Vancouver comes out and wins map 1. I texted you and said, are they just map 1 Reapers like they were against Miami and they're going to lose the next 3? They said no. we're going to go ahead and 3-0 the favorites and send them home packing top 8 last place at champs.
Damn.
Absolutely insane. Did not think this was going to happen. No one had this fucking happening, even if it was the Surge that they were playing in losers. Envoy and Ghosty, tough matchup. These maps were close for the most part.
Yeah.
And Surge were just able to get it done. Composure was there. Even though Neptune went negative, he was making impactful plays on the map, and he stood up and did his why I oughta after.
Yep.
And that shit was fucking hilarious. But this was obviously the most surprising match or outcome, I should say, of the entire champs tournament, with the favorites going home dead fucking last. And as soon as this happened, you're like, okay, it's just, if you're an OpTic fan, you just gotta hope that we don't see FaZe or Miami, whether that's in the grand finals or if they fall to losers bracket. So these are out of the question, out of the table. You got to think they probably stick together, though, for EWC, because, you could write that off as a fluke, but it just looked like they got complacent. Really, it's really what it was. Which it's tough with a month break when you're the top team and everyone's trying to catch up to you. It's pretty hard to figure out. There's a lot of situationals that you can review as a team and say, in this, I got to do this better. But when it comes to elevating from a team standpoint and all 4 arrows on the map at the same time, it's hard to be that team to get better when you're the best, right? There's no catching up.
And they peaked at DreamHack. Their comms were crazy at DreamHack. They were just on point that weekend, passionate as fuck. Right. It's hard to get that hunger back, especially after a dead break, a month of dead break, no COD being talked about. They're probably just scrimming and getting
They used a lot of juju in that one too, bro.
Yeah. So
they came from a losers bracket run. They came back after Scrap sat in a fucking chopper gunner for 25 seconds and lost to Miami. They used a lot of their good juju at DreamHack.
They did.
And they got complacent, it seems like, throughout the month. That Shotzi even said it on stream, outside looking in, don't take this to heart, but I just think they got complacent.
Yeah.
And so it kind of showed in this. So
crazy.
They go home top 12, or top 8 rather. Vancouver move on to elimination round 2. We'll take a look back at the winners bracket now. We got Boston Breach going up against Miami. I said it earlier, Boston Nesloing their way to the winners finals as they take down Miami in a round 11? Map 5, I believe? Yeah. For some reason, the maps aren't loading, so I have to click on each individual map to see the score line. But yeah, Boston were down 4-1 in the map 5 search. They rattle off 4 in a row to go up 5-4. They lose it to make it 5-5, and they take the round 11 to bring it home. Again, with obviously the score. There. Yeah, we got a red carpet for the side of Boston Breach, but obviously in a Neslo, anything above a 0.9 is positive in my eyes. And you got Purge and Snoopy with 0.99s, almost positive in a Neslo. They were going crazy. Yeah. And then you can see why they were losing those hard points, as Real's got a 136 and Super's got a 122. You can see why, the slang just was not there in the hard points for Boston this weekend, but nonetheless, their search game was on point, and they were able to take those scrappy controls where, there's always a favored side. You don't have to read spawns. It's all about timings, which can go a certain way for you in those right moments. So the Neslo fortune continues for the Boston Breach as they move on to the winners finals, and Miami drops down to play FaZe.
FaZe up.
So the other winners round we had was OpTic Texas versus Toronto Ultra. I was super confident, not even because of what they just did against FaZe, but just because what they've done against Toronto in the past. Yeah. They played them in the last online match of Split 4, played them at Major 4 DreamHack and beat them both times pretty convincingly. And they came out and absolutely fucking fried their shit. This match was not even close. Dashy dropped a 1.8, Hook 1.22, Merc 1.4, Shotzi 1.4. Just a clinical series from the boys in green as they shit on the Squirrels in their home champ stage. Insight with a 0.55, 28 kills over 3 maps. And we'll get to it later. I cannot believe what happens after, what they do with this roster, with that in mind. So OpTic moving on to the winners finals to play against Boston Breach. And we're sitting here like, holy shit.
Yeah, now
the back-to-back is possible. Copium is at all-time high. We are riding high right now. We know that Heretics and FaZe have to play each other, so one of the two threats that are like the real threats are about to be eliminated, and it's just now the tournament starts to get kind of crazy here. Yeah. And so we jump down to the losers bracket once again. Miami against FaZe, and Miami 3-0 smokes them and sends FaZe home top 6 again.
Crazy.
Second year in a row that they are going home top 6. Celium, the only one positive on the side of FaZe, negative for everyone else. Another 0.7 for Simp. Like I said earlier,
just a
worst tournament of his career by far. And then the rookies on the side of Miami stepping up again with 1.3s. And it was just insane to see. It was a very, very close map 1. The map 2 was 6-3, pretty good for the side of Miami, and then they 3-0 smoked them in the control. Wasn't even close. So
I mean,
FaZe very, very shocking.
FaZe
they look like shit, man.
They just died in that. Like after map 2, they just did not come to play that map 3, bro. They were making terrible decisions. Like Azuma was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" It got bad. It got bad.
It was very bad. And then the other losers bracket match that we had was Toronto Ultra against the Vancouver Surge. Vancouver Surge feeling super good coming off a win against the favorites in LA Thieves. And they continue to ride that momentum as they 3-0 the Toronto Ultra. Beans the only one positive on the side of Toronto. Insight with the lowest KD and interactions in the lobby again. Keep that in mind. Again, Beans... only one positive. Insight sucking again. Well, I mean, I just don't understand what happened to this Toronto team. They were definitely like on that fringe 3-4 with Vancouver, Miami looking really good. And then that shit happens. They see how good Merc looks. They say, no, we'll offer you a bench spot, but we're going to keep Beans in the lineup and Insight, and we're going to stick with this team because we like how it does. And it ended up being their demise. They go home with a top 6 placing, only winning... who did they beat? I fucking forgot. Only beating Carolina. Yeah. So, and they dropped a map to them. Yeah. So, I mean, after what we saw in those 2 matches, and what Surge was able to do against Thieves, this was expected, and Toronto go home top 6.
Yeah.
Tough.
I gotta say, the Ultra CEO has been taking L after L after L.
That he has.
For like the last week and a half, bro. It's been bad.
Yep.
So
it has been very bad.
Obviously, he kind of got a W when the Thieves got knocked out, because he said the Ultra are going to be better than Thieves. But then Thieves went on to like win a couple majors after he said that. So, but
yeah, I mean, technically they did place better at the most important tournament, but saying you got top 8, we got top 6, ha ha ha, isn't a thing. And then he tried to tweet out and bring some light to the Merc situation to like make his name look a little bit better, and said, here's what you need to know. We offered Merc a spot regardless of, that, like, he was going to take the OpTic offer, so it is what it is. What he didn't mention is that you offered him a bench spot and weren't going to make any changes. So he, again, took another L in the comments of that tweet. Everyone's saying, hey, you left out a significant piece of information here that makes this tweet look like shit. So you fucked up yet again.
And then Kitchener.
Shit.
That was hosted by Ultra.
Yep.
Worst champs ever.
Yep.
And I was going to say he tweeted out like a picture of the map from the venue to the airport and how long a car ride would take.
Yep,
and he tweeted the Thieves, and everyone was like, dude, your team is ass.
Scrap responded and said, hey, you just threw the worst event in CDL history or some shit.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, Vancouver move on, Miami move on, and we go back to the winners finals, OpTic Texas versus Boston Breach. Even though they've been Nesloing their way to this point, was super confident in the OpTic boys on this. This was another shit stomping. Overall, it was a 6-1 in the S&D. Excuse me. a 250 to 73 in the hard point, and the control should have went the way of Boston. Honestly, they trolled the round 4 and lost the round 5, so pretty tough. It was a 2v4, I'm pretty sure, or that might have been against Toronto. But either way, they were a man up, and OpTic ended up winning that scenario.
Yeah.
Dashy, again, one of the best events he's ever had, 1.6. Mercules, 1.6. Tough for Shotzi, but he really didn't need to do any. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the map 3, lol. 1.8 for Dashy, 1.8 for Mercules. They were just going crazy, man. Obviously, we had a highlight from Merc in the map 3 that was awesome. Definitely go look at that. I think it was in the first or second round where he's on defense, pushed up lobby on Hacienda control, gets a 3-piece with the pistol, yells shit on after the second one, kills the third guy with the pistol, and yells world start. It was the iciest shit I've ever seen up until we get to the grand finals where Shotzi decided to have the clip of the year, which we'll get to. But yeah, OpTic, they're going to the grand finals. We're fucking high on life. We're thinking, holy shit, they were 0-18 about a few months ago, and now they're in grand finals of champs with a chance to go back to back.
And Thieves are both out.
Gone. They're gone. Our biggest threat now is Miami, which is very much a threat because regardless of how good you're playing in S&D, they're probably playing just as good, if not better, in S&D wins championships. So they're definitely scary. But luckily, Vancouver Surge take care of them in the loser semifinals. They're able to, again, beat the Heretics in a round 11 map 5. So it's tough for Miami, man. Both of their losses to kick them out of the tournament came in map 5 round 11s, which is just tough.
Ice. Gotta have the
ice, and they didn't have it. They chose to choose to be rocker instead. But again, was this a Neslo?
No.
I can't. This shit's not loading for me. I can't tell.
Are you talking about the Seattle?
Yeah.
No, Seattle won the first map, control, and then search.
Oh, okay. They said we'll win all 3 game modes. Nice.
Well,
so yeah, Surge continuing their prowess in the losers bracket run, and moving on to the losers finals against the Boston Breach. Boston Breach looking to continue their dubs with Neslo fashion. Unfortunately, they do fall short in the map 5 and go out with a top 3 placing, which, hey, no one would have expected that. Nobody. Man. I mean, hell of a tournament from the Boston Breach, and shout out Per J, even though they didn't get it done. But crazy work from Neptune and Abuza in the map 5 to secure the dub for the Vancouver Surge, and they move on to play OpTic in the grand finals. I kind of did end up liking just grand finals on Sunday.
Me too.
Because it wasn't like that last year. We watched New York we watched Fate. Who did we watch before the finals?
I don't know.
Who would that have been? Oh, Toronto versus OpTic, I think. Because OpTic came from losers, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we get into the grand final here. OpTic end up taking it back-to-back champs. It was a fucking movie. This process is going to hit like crack. And they take it 5-3. Only thing I really want to touch on here is this was Merc's worst series. Like, even though it was, like, that's just how you know this team was so well-rounded. It wasn't they picked up this guy and it did change everything, but they depended on him was not the case. He comes out, has the lowest KD, lowest kills, and Shotzi has an absolute masterclass to take the series 5-3. And in the control on Hacienda, it's between that and also on Hacienda control, Hydra 4-piece for play of the year. Personally, I think Shotzi's 4-piece is the play of the year because he was alone on point, getting swarmed from every angle, gets the last one with a pistol where the knife is kind of cheese for Hydra, and it was in Champs Finals. So, in my opinion,
they kind of lined
play
up
of the year.
For Hydra. Like, Hydra just dove and they lined up for him.
Yeah, he got the third one.
Great play. Don't get me wrong, but Shotzi's was crazy, bro.
Insane.
Shotzi's was crazy.
It was Hydra's is way more pleasing to the eye, don't get me wrong, in terms of just like the movement. The knife kill looks super clean at the end, and it was pretty sick, especially being here in Texas. We were there. It was dope. But the actual better play is definitely Shotzi's. But I also want to touch on the map 4 Vault. I cannot believe that the observers choked this map so hard. They were barely on Dashy's POV, and he went 43 and 24. He was 24 and 7 at one point, and we had barely seen him get any kills. He was absolutely beaming and pretty much won them this map 4. And was early rotating from P2 to Art to lock down P3, P4 spawns. He was doing it all for the team. So shout out to Dashy. Shout out to the boys on OpTic for getting it done. They go back to back. Hook and Mercules get their chains around their neck.
That's awesome.
And Mercules goes home with the tournament MVP. Rookie MVP. Haven't seen this since Simp and Black Ops 4. So you better buy some real estate, bud, because you're not going anywhere, Mercules. You better buy some real estate out there in Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, dude. He's just the perfect fit for the team. Vibes-wise, he brings great composure. He's a fryer. He's going to be here for a minute, hopefully. Hopefully it's not like last year and our champs roster is just dog shit going into the next season.
Right. It's just so poetic that the two people with the highest KDs in finals are the two that have been there the whole time, Shotzi and Dashy. Obviously, if it was Grand Finals MVP, Shotzi's absolutely winning that by a long shot, but it's MVP for the whole entire tournament, which definitely Merc deserved very well, as he dropped a 1.8, a 1.4, a 1.3 in their first 3 matches. So he was absolutely frying. Yeah. So well-deserved. Congrats to the fucking boys.
You know how I was saying, like, the Thieves reached that level where their comms were crazy, like, they were just on point. Like, I didn't know if OpTic had that in them or could even find it because they haven't been together that long. And then they showed up and they were there. Like, they reached that level. Their comms were insane. Like, Merc's small talk is great. Hook was doing everything as far as keeping them calm, telling them where to look, just giving them all the info. Like,
comms were godlike.
They were insane. It's crazy.
He was so good at stressing certain comms too, because he had clear cadences to when he had normal call outs and to when he was like, hey, he was able to stress certain call outs that were way more important, like fuck the lane that you're holding, kill this guy type shit. It's like is what you would get from a certain call out pretty much by how he was emphasizing it. So OpTic Texas, first ever to go back to back. The boys do it again. I ordered the back to back t-shirt. Can't wait for that shit get here. But we got EWC coming up here in about 3 weeks. And it's going to be some different teams. We've got some roster mania already starting. Yeah. So I'm taking a look here at the pools. If it shows us, does it show us the pools for? Oh,
they're not confirmed. Cool. But somebody posted like what the probable pools are going to be.
Yeah, and keep in mind it's seeded by your chance placing. Yeah. So OpTic 1, Vancouver 2, and so on and so forth. OpTic's pool is a fucking cakewalk for them. So they should obviously move on to the bracket play from that. It's single elimination, so anything can happen. That's why Champs is definitely valued higher. It's a higher prize pool. Obviously, it's the end of the regular season, so there's no debate when it comes to what matters more. It's obviously Champs. Yeah. And if any player says otherwise, they're coping. So we'll see what that looks like. But some shit on the timeline today. Gwen has been removed from C9, and Capsule has... removed from Royal Ravens, and Capsule has been removed from C9. So the assumption there, Gwen to C9 alongside Crimp, Sib, and Spart, unless another change is made. But there is some weird rules with these EWC changes. Apparently it can't be more than one player or something like that. And so another change that we do have on the timeline, Beans has been let go, and they have picked up Abe, who's a up and coming challenger player, played alongside Merc on the Stallions, and has been a popular name. So another young bull getting a chance in the CDL. But as I emphasized earlier, Insight got fucking shit on this whole event, and Beans was like the only saving grace and has much higher upside and much higher time horizon on his career, and they choose to keep Insight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear other people's thoughts on that. I'm sure I already know Ake's opinion.
And did you see TJ replace Priesta on Falcons?
Yes, I did see that. That hasn't been confirmed though, right? Just like
Yeah,
technically.
I don't think it's confirmed, but it's like one of those rumors where it's probably true.
Yeah, I mean, dude, 98% of these rumors when it comes to WrestleMania end up true.
Yeah.
So like you have to take it with a grain of salt, sure, but like we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't like that. I don't think that's gonna move the needle too much for them. I think they might be able to, but like I don't get that at all. Is he gonna be flexing?
I guess so.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. He's gonna have to change a lot of. I don't know.
I don't either.
I think I'm guessing you can only make a one-person change.
Yeah.
Because like Arceus needs to go too. Because they both
I don't know because Ravens got rid of Tej and Gwen.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So,
you're right. That's true. I think there was some weird niche where like if everyone was still under contract, you can make one change. But like for instance, if you had 3 players whose contract expires, then technically you can make 3 changes because you don't have anyone under contract and it doesn't violate the EWC rules.
Right.
But you're only allowed to change one person who's under contract. So we'll see what happens there. So that's just now starting. We'll probably have a lot more updates for you and finalized updates on our next episode. So yeah, CDL champs, OpTic Gaming, back to back. It was an absolute movie. Go watch the comms videos. Go watch the reactions. Go watch all of it. It's all my YouTube recommended and
Same.
TikTok feed is right now. I've rewatched it like so many times, even though I've seen it a bunch. So congrats to OpTic, man.
Shout out to the boys, back to back.
Back to
what
back.
A journey they had. Like I wrote them
Insane.
off completely after all the roster changes and the 0-18 split.
Oh yeah, and then with
I never
Skies,
dreamed.
with after they got top 8 or whatever at Major 3, and Shotzi comes on stream and says, "Guys, we're not making a change. We're sticking with this team through the year." I threw in the towel.
I mean,
bro. I was like, all right.
I thought they threw in the towel by doing that.
Right, exactly. That's what everyone said, and then Hex had to step in.
GM Methods.
GM Methods and Hex had to step in and put their foot on the ground. But nonetheless, we also had RLCS Raleigh, so take us through it.
All right. So, yeah, we had Major 2 in Rocket League, the last major before Worlds. It was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and nobody was there. It was a lot like Champs.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I noticed that as well.
2 poorly attended great tournaments took place over the weekend. But, yeah, North America, we had NRG, Genji, Space Station. Wait, what the fuck is this? Is this the major? No, this is Open 5. Whoopsies. Major. I was like, complexity wasn't there. So we had NRG, Space Station, Genji, and the Ultimates representing NA. There were some heavy hitters over here from Europe, of course. K-Corp expected to win every tournament as they've been doing. And they really did not have a great tournament. They came out slow from Swiss to the very end. And you can see here they went 3-2 in Swiss. Obviously, they ended by 3-0ing Furia, so we didn't see Furia play well this weekend. I always love seeing them in there. But Team Secret seems to have taken the mantle for South America because they had a great event. They beat the Ultimates in Swiss to eliminate the Ultimates, and that was shocking. I mean, Team Secret's always been a decent team, but they never really make it out of Swiss. They're like a 2-3 type of team.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to see them take the next step, and they even did good in the playoffs. But I wanted to talk about the Ultimates because they came out as the best team in the venue day one. They went 2-0.
Yeah.
They 3-1 Space Station and K-Corp, which was shocking. And
2 great teams, yeah.
They came out the next day and looked like shit and went 0-3 and got eliminated.
Bro, that's tough.
Obviously, Falcons were playing insane. I mean, they dropped 1 map in Swiss to Team Secret, and it was the first match of the day. And they ended up winning the whole event. So they were great from the start. Vitality looked unstoppable. I was really scared. I thought Zen was going to finally win a tournament.
Legacy.
Yeah, I thought this was like a Zen Legacy tourney. NRG, lost to them 1-3 in Swiss, and then turned around and got 0-4 swept by them down here. So Vitality kind of has our number right now. They were close games, 2-1, 2-0, 3-1, and then 4-1. Wheels fell off. Falcons 4-0 Dignitas. Dignitas has had a really good split. They won a regional. But apparently Jack and Jory's are looking really good, and they got shit on bad. Falcons absolutely dominated. 2-0, 5-0, 3-1, 2-1. Like, Falcons were insane. Team Secret beat Gentlemates, which was kind of shocking. Gentlemates, great European team. 4-2. Yeah. They looked really good. Carmine Corp lost a 7-game series, and they got reverse swept. They were up 3-0.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were up 3-0. But Rise, bro. Rise is icy. Rise is icy. He used to be on K Corp. And that man is a problem. And they called a timeout. And after that, they just shit on him. 4 straight maps. Insane.
That's crazy, bro.
All 1-goal games, but they were icing up. So,
damn. Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah, not many reverse sweeps in Rocket League, but that was a crazy one. So K Corp out early.
Damn, that is true. You just made me realize that that's not very much an outcome in Rocket League for the most part.
I forget how many there's been, but it's not much.
I feel like obviously there's probably been more. I'm not remember, but just repeating all these episodes and you going through to my head, I feel like that's like the second or third time you've ever mentioned a reverse sweep, bro.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
Yeah. So, and it's against the best team in the venue. That's crazy.
Thieves, is that you?
Yeah, dude.
You know the Spider-Man, old Tobey Maguire, where he puts his glasses on and it gets clearer or whatever? It turns into Thieves whenever he puts his glasses on.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, Dignitas 4-0 Team Secret. That's where Team Secret's run ended. Shout out to them though. That was a good run for them. They won a round.
Absolutely.
Made it through Swiss, so that's a big tourney for them. And then this was the best series I watched, besides the reverse sweep, I guess. But Twisted Minds are nuts, dude. They were up 3-1.
Yeah.
And then Beast Mode said, "Hold my beer." Daniel said, "Hold my beer." We got y'all, and they went insane, bro. Beast Mode, I sent you that goal, but
yeah, I'm gonna rewatch that.
Like game 6, they're down 1, and this dude catches a ball and flip resets it all in one motion for a goal, and then Daniel scored in overtime to win. Crazy series.
I rewatched that Daniel goal, that insane one from months ago in a qualifier or whatever, where he avoids the bump, pops it, catches it. I rewatched it, someone breaking it down even further, and I was like, this might be the grossest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. His mechanics are nuts.
The fact that, oh my god.
But yeah, NRG come back after being down 3-1, win that series, go on to play Falcons, and they just couldn't do it, bro. Falcons defense is so good. And they'll make you pay for any overcommits or mistakes, and they were just faster and better on this day. So
best low to no boost team I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're insane.
Falcons.
They're insane. And then you would think Vitality would come out and shit on Dignitas, like they're just usually in other seasons just a cut above these guys, but Dignitas are playing really well right now, and they 4-1 them. So Zen out early again.
He hasn't won a tournament?
They tried to build a super team with Monkey Moon, Zen, and Seiko. Right?
Seiko?
No, Exotic.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no.
Yeah. So
Exotic,
Yeah, one of them European players. And yeah, so it's just not been the results they want, but I guarantee you they'll probably win Worlds because it's Monkey Moon. So
yep.
Damn. This is all fuel to the fire. Just wait.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but then Falcons come out and 4-1 Dignitas, and they just
my boys.
Yeah, they were insane.
My fucking boys.
So shout out to the Falcons. This is the first MENA region tourney win. And
finally.
The Falcons
it's been a long time coming for these guys.
Always in the mix, dude. It has been. They've gotten top 2 so many times and just can't get over the hump. And they finally do it.
They might be one of the longest standing esports teams.
Probably.
Like the roster has stayed the same.
No, they've changed. it's always like the same 4 or 5 guys rotating between 2 MENA teams until this year when Twisted Minds picked up Rise. But
they were the same all last year.
The brothers are always together. The brothers are always together.
Wasn't...
And I think they might have been the same last year. Turkey?
Yeah, TRK.
Yeah.
Kalirs and Rawas,
yeah.
right? Yeah. I could be wrong, but I thought that was their full team last year, too.
It might have been, but I feel like
2023 Nupo joined, so no.
Yeah. So that's been. Oh yeah, Nupo was on their team, but then he said some wild shit in a chat and got exposed, and they had to drop him or some shit.
Okay, so April.
No, that might have been on Rule 1. That was on Rule 1.
That would have been.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It might have been their team last year.
They had Khalid.
Doom.
To whom? That's just, I don't understand that to this day, bro. Okay, so Falcons take it all, but more importantly, Dak, who won the show match?
I'm gonna be honest. I watched the first map and then did not care. Oh,
I'm gonna be honest. I was watching.
Chalked 2-0. Get him out of here.
Nice, good.
Chalked cast.
I mean, it's a former pro, and wait, what?
Yeah, Gibbs, Garrett, G, and CJ. I mean, they're just
is Rizzo on the other team?
Rizzo should have been on this team, but he couldn't make it, so Gibbs filled in.
So Gibbs played.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Garrett G.
Yeah, Garrett G is on the Chalked cast now, so like he played and
he's
insane.
If Rizzo was there, it'd be 2 former. CJ was a former, right?
Yeah, he's like one of the best Australian players ever, and he just retired like 2 or 3 years ago, so he's still got it.
Okay, yeah, those other guys are fucked.
I mean, Roll Diz was a former pro. But Dazarin and T-Bates have always been on the desk, so like.
Roll Diz did not look like a former pro when we watched him.
I'm talking like golden age.
You're talking like when my skill was peak.
Maybe around COVID time.
I mean, that's still.
Yeah, that's still somewhat recent.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know, but.
Kalirs got MVP.
Yeah, Kalirs got MVP. He averaged 1.8 something goals.
Oh yeah, that's
game.
right.
It was a record.
Told me that.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so
dude.
he was going crazy.
That's insane,
he was going crazy.
Dude.
Like, he's averaging 2 goals
maps.
a game.
30 maps, and he's fucking. Is that just bracket or is that in?
I think that's the whole
Swiss
tourney.
too?
I think that's the whole fucking tourney. Yeah, he's insane.
Nah, brother.
He's insane. So.
Oh, what? Let me screenshot those camera settings real quick.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So shout out the Falcons, man. They did it, and now we got Worlds to look forward to. NRG is our only hope, and we've really got to come back strong.
Worlds is in France, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go look
Home
at
crowd
Worlds,
cheese.
Actually, let's go look at Worlds.
I'm calling it right now. Vitality, hometown cheese,
Mm-hmm.
Zen gets his first win, and it's a championship. That's my too early prediction.
Okay, well, right now they just have last chance qualifiers, I guess. Oh, RLCS World Championship. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Also, it was funny
Alright.
because Gen G, their Swiss run ended to Twisted Minds in a Game 5. And so did Reddles when he went to LAN. Their Swiss run ended to Twisted Minds Game 5. So Reddles posted a picture with Justin and said, "Fuck Twisted Minds."
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good camaraderie there.
Yeah. So, yeah, we get an LCQ team also.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Who do we think it is?
Complexity.
Complexity?
Yeah, I would hope.
I hope so, too. Trying to see
Also,
my boy
SSG, bro. SSG looked good. They just couldn't close out some series. And, yeah, they're nuts. They're going to be good.
Did they go to a game?
Experience.
Did they go to a 5th match in Swiss?
I think so. I'm pretty sure all their series were pretty crazy, if I recall.
Okay.
Let's go look at it. SSG. Yeah, 3-2,
No.
1-3, 1-3.
They only went match 4.
Yeah, but
Damn, that sucks.
I feel like they were
Gen
close.
G and Ultimates, bro. That sucked. I mean, tough draw.
Like 1-3 here. 5-3. Yeah, no, they kind of got shit on. Ultimates were insane day 1. They were insane day 1. They won.
Never
here
mind, I
in
lied.
5. Where are they? 3-1 by Gen G. I mean, they got shit on. That was just Justin
Tough.
saying, hold my beer. I'm him. But yeah,
All right.
great tourney. Shout out Rocket League.
That was our Raleigh recap. I love alliteration when it's just natural alliteration. I love that. Raleigh recap. And we're going to wrap up episode 65 with our coin segment, Pick and Bans. All right, to cap us off, we've got Pick and Bans, where me and Dak pick and ban something from recency, and we dwell on it. I'll go ahead and get us started. My pick, my sister's going into the hospital tonight to get induced. Hopefully sometime tomorrow. I'm officially UNC status.
UNC status. Let's go.
It's going to be crazy, man.
Dang.
It's going to be crazy. Little 4th of July nephew. She had pre-gestational diabetes, so she had to get induced early. Original due date was 7/11. But week early, has to go in and get it induced. So could come anytime tomorrow, potentially early in the morning on Friday. We'll see. But yeah, super excited to become UNC.
Heck yeah, dude. Hope everything goes well. You gonna be a uncle?
Yes, sir.
Are you gonna be a funkle?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it a boy or
body
a girl?
slamming that little move? It's a boy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you gonna be the uncle that teaches him how to play COD at some point?
I'm gonna teach him how to play COD and rip a bong. No, I'm just playing. I do not smoke weed.
Okay. My pick is the Thunder Parade. I went to the Thunder Parade for Oklahoma City Thunder, and it was sick. It was fucking sick. Everyone was just so happy, except for I'll tell you a story in a sec, but everyone was happy. There was confetti. The floats were cool.
People standing on strangers' coolers for a better view.
Yeah, like it was sick. So, basically we get bussed over from the fairgrounds. So we waited for a bus for 2 hours. I'm sitting there with a backpack cooler that was given to us by one of my friends, and he was like, yeah, there's a little leak in the bottom, like just make sure you put a bag in there or something. I was like, okay, like he made it seem like it was no big deal. Bro, I'm standing in line. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, feel like my back getting wet. And I turn around, bro. There's just like a stream of water coming from the bottom of the cooler. We're already like deep in line, about to get on this bus. So I was like, fuck it. We ride. We tried to like put a Walmart bag in the bottom to save it, but it was still leaking a little bit. We're in a bus with like 100 people, bro. Like these people are packed in there like sardines and grabbing the handles and shit.
Fucking
and every time the bus turns, bro,
crotch.
Every time the bus turns,
you're swinging on it. You're playing Jello.
Yes, and you see water go flowing out from underneath the seat.
I forgot about your backpack.
Yeah, so dude, we got the bus floor so wet, bro. And everyone in there knows hilarious. It's us, and we're just like, fuck. It was like a 15-minute bus ride with water just flowing. That is hilarious, bro. So
that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So
how many beers did you have in there?
Dude, honestly, like 5, and mostly water, because it was 95 and humid that day. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we get there, we walk like a mile to the OKC bombing memorial. It's like this big wall thing that looks cool, and that was part of the route. And so we just parked it right there, and the floats came in. It was fucking sick. For like 30 seconds. That's awesome. All that work for like 30 seconds of them passing you, and it's like the sickest moment, but then it's over. So like
it's gone.
It's something I'll always remember, but I'll never do again,
Yeah.
Like I don't think it'd be worth it to go back, but it was sick. It was sick the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we got to the park, and I almost saw a Karen fight someone. Because they were standing on the cooler next to me, so the heat was getting to everyone. It was getting a little contentious in the park, but yeah, all good.
That's how champions act, man. Mm-hmm. It's just how champions act, man. Sick. My ban is gonna be very, very quick because I'm gonna make another pick on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my ban is that song I can't get out of my head of that cringy. Youth camp looking dude singing on his tippy toes and whatnot because it's cringe. But I love it because my pick is Drewski. whose last two skits he's put out in the past like week or so have been great. He's back on his bullshit. He did the little Young Life church camp leader skit.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious. And then he did an impression skit of that guy singing on his tippy toes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it zooms in on his tippy toe. Oh my gosh, I was crying when I watched it the first time. But that shit was comedy.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, I couldn't think of anything else, and I just really wanted to talk about Drew Ski's last two skits because they've been good.
Yeah, no, that song is, it's horrible.
And I'll just throw this on top, band Kitchener.
Yeah, Kitchener, get it out. My band is just like kind of this period of time we're in where football's not started, basketball's over, hockey's over, COD's basically over, you know. What do we do? You know, what do we do? Where do we go?
I don't know.
Who do we
It's
turn
also
to?
it's insane because we're mad because we don't get to watch our players play and participate, but they are living life right now. They're the complete opposite, you know, because obviously off season for us sucks because we don't have anything to watch. Off season for them is when they get to enjoy their lives and they're loving shit. It's so weird to just think about that dynamic just existing.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Complete different.
But yeah, I'm just like
happy as fuck.
Like this is where ESPN the Ocho starts coming on, and I'm watching like lawnmower racing and
you're watching
darts.
What's
Cornhole?
Cornhole.
Yeah.
Competitive cornhole.
Yeah, that just dodgeball, just random shit on there. Maybe I'll start watching a new esport. Who knows?
We got COD off-season content is always great though in terms of like what Zuma's playing, what
the
other
CS
content
has
creators
been
are
fun,
playing.
watching all them open cases.
Yeah, it has been really fun. So we'll get some good content flowing, hopefully. But anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
All right.
See you on 66.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for episode 65. We'll see y'all in episode 66. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. See y'all next time. Deuces.